What's going on again, guys? Elvis Presley was born on January the 8th, 1935, and to commemorate his birth month, all month long for the entire month of January, the Pop Complex has been unboxing the McFarlane Elvis Presley figures, and today is no exception. We are unboxing the sixth and final one in the series. This is the 1970 Las Vegas Elvis. So guys, my name is Matt, and this is the Pop Complex. Alright guys, welcome back to the Pop Complex. So again, we are unboxing the Las Vegas 1970 Elvis figure by McFarlane Toys, and this is the sixth and final figure in the McFarlane Elvis Presley series. So we'll take a closer look here, guys. There is Elvis in the package, and it is modeled after a performance from Las Vegas in 1970 that Elvis did, and this marks the beginning of an era where Elvis was wearing the iconic white jumpsuits. As you can see, that this jumpsuit here that he was wearing for this particular show is not as ostentatious as some of the ones that he would wear a little bit later on, with all of the jewels and sequins on the front and the back. This one is a little bit more simple. So again, it was at the beginning of that era. Elvis began performing in Las Vegas in 1969, and he performed there all the way up through 1976. So this is from 1970, and we see some cutout artwork here on the side depicting his Las Vegas live performance in 1970. And as you can see, guys, we'll take a closer look at the official signature Elvis Presley product sticker here. So this is an officially licensed product by the Elvis Presley estate and manufactured again by McFarlane Toys. So there's Elvis, and he's in a dynamic performing and singing pose. As you can see from his face sculpt, he looks very intent and focused on what he is singing and delivering the best performance that he can. And we'll take a closer look down here in the package. You can see the giant marquee that was outside of the hotel where Elvis performed. You can see Las Vegas Presents at the top, and then Elvis's name in lights. You can't really see it that well from here, but don't worry, we'll get a much better closer look at that when we take Elvis out of the package. And we'll flip it around to the side, and on the side here is some photography with some low lighting of the figure itself. Again, the Elvis Las Vegas 1970 logos there. And we'll flip it around to the back, and you can see, guys, that this figure is from 2004. Now, McFarlane produced these Elvis Presley figures between 2004 and 2006. And you guys can pause and read that there if you like. But there's a picture of Elvis on the marquee stand with the microphone. And you have the Elvis.com and McFarlane legal information. All right, guys, so without further ado, stay tuned. We're going to get Elvis 1970 Las Vegas out of the packaging. All right, guys, and now we have Las Vegas 1970 Elvis out of the packaging. And taking a first look at the figure, just my first impressions after opening this figure, it seems to be the lightest, really kind of least substantial figure out of the whole series. If you guys have not already checked out my other unboxing videos of my other Elvis figures, take a look at those. And in comparison, this figure again is kind of more on the simple side as far as the presentation here. Elvis came out of the packaging already pegged to this stand, so I'm not going to remove him from that stand. The stand is very light, very simple, and very basic. It does recreate the Las Vegas Elvis marquee with his name in lights, and I'll get a closer look here at these. These are just like little plastic little globules, it looks like, to recreate the look of lights. They look like tiny little LED lights, but they do not light up, but they're made to look that way. So if you guys can get a better shot of that, get a better look. And it is curved around, and Elvis is pegged on top of this stand, and we'll flip it around to the back to show you that it is just a basic plastic stand, and it feels hollow. It feels extremely light. Now his mic cord, which is made out of the same bendy wire that the 1968 comeback special was. It just feeds around into the back here so it stays out of the way. And Elvis is in that dynamic leg spread pose, like he is striking a pose. He was very into the theatrics in the 70s during his live performances when he would perform in these white jumpsuits. So take a closer look at this jumpsuit. Again, it is one of the more simple ones. Later on, they became very, very elaborate, very ostentatious with a lot of beads, a lot of sequins, and well, you guys have seen photos of those jumpsuits before. So this one's very simple, just with some fringes that come off of the base of the collar here that go down. And this is actually a soft, rubbery plastic, so you can kind of manipulate those and kind of get the feeling that they are, you know, not just hard plastic. And then there's another one that comes off of his belt here that comes down the back of his leg, and that one is also more just a rubbery, pliable plastic. We'll take a closer look at the detail. This is done in a paint that is a little bit on the iridescent side. As you guys can see that it does pick up some sheen from the lights here, so it has that dull, shiny, dull iridescent look to it. Flipping Elvis back around, again taking a closer look, and the face sculpt is pretty decent. It does capture his passionate, exasperated look that he had on his face during that performance. And the bendy wire of the mic goes up into his hand here. His fist is sculpted completely closed, so that wire will not be coming out of there, as well as this microphone here. It is sculpted into his hand, so it's not going anywhere. But it is worthy to note, to point out the articulation. He has wrist swivel, so his wrist can swivel to the left and to the right a little bit where his sleeve does allow. But again, with these figures, they're not really action figures. They're more like mini statues. So he is in the perfect pose already coming out of the packaging, and there is another wrist swivel in his other wrist, but it's really tight and very restricted on how far it will go. But again, you don't really need to move it or manipulate it that much. He has a cut here at the elbow, so he can go in and out with the elbow just like that, depending on how you want to pose that. But with the cuts of his jumpsuit here, it looks fine just right there where it was sculpted. And this is a pose, guys. This is sculpted from a specific pose, so I don't think you'd really want to maneuver it around that much. His head is on a swivel, so it does go from side to side within the confines of his collar here, so you guys can see that. Not very much, but again, it's posed to be in this specific pose, singing right directly into the mic. So again, not really going to move that. As you guys could see, he does have a waist swivel, so you could get a little bit of a different pose there depending on how you wanted to display that. You could display him facing this way a little bit, or more down, kind of facing the camera. It just depends on how you want to do that. But this is the default pose, and to me it looks good enough just like it is. And we'll go ahead and get some measurements of this figure as well. We'll bring in the old tape measure. So it looks like in total, from the bottom of the base to the very top of Elvis's hair, he looks like he is coming in right at about 7 3/4 inches. And just Elvis himself, without the stand, he stands right at the 5.5 inch mark. But he is, has a lot of bend there in his knees, so that's why he is coming a little bit shorter than he typically would. Let me know what you guys think. This was the final Elvis Presley McFarlane unboxing in my series to commemorate Elvis Presley's birth month, all month long, the month of January. Guys, if you haven't checked out my other 5 Elvis unboxing videos, all 5 links will be in the description. Check those out. And if you would, guys, if you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button and please hit the bell so you'll be notified anytime I upload a new video to the Pop Complex. Thanks, guys, and have a Viva Las Vegas day.